Hi, this is Steve from LZ23 Strength, and we're here to talk about the 10 kind of more common reasons why people don't exercise. It's not an all exhaustive list, but some of the more common ones, and we'll also talk about simple solutions, simple suggestions that hopefully might inspire, motivate you to get on the right side of exercise. As I mentioned, this is LZ23 Strength, and encourage you to subscribe, hit the like button, leave comments, and let's do this. So probably one of the most common and often used excuses or reasons is I don't have time. I have a very busy life. I've got a family. My job is demanding, and it can be true for sure. People nowadays, it's funny, we have more conveniences than ever before, and yet it kind of leads to a lack of time in certain matters, and this being a very important area. But it's something to remember that exercise doesn't have to consume all of our time. I think sometimes that's a misunderstanding that people have, that I have to become a full-time athlete. I have to be at the gym all the time, hours and hours and hours a week. But that's not the case. The key in exercise is consistency. And it can be broken up into smaller 10-minute segment in the morning, maybe some squatting or push-ups at lunchtime, and then maybe a walk after dinner. The key with exercise is consistency. That's the most important thing. It's not the volume or the hours that you put in. Now, it does come into play to some degree, and hopefully as you get involved in it, that you're able to devote more time to it. But initially, it's just doing something every day physically. Remember, movement means life. So while time can be challenging, we need to make time. We have to look at our schedules and see what are we doing, where we could carve out a little time regarding exercise. The second reason is people aren't motivated. And if you have never been an exercise person and you don't like it, well, it's going to be hard to get motivated. But your 70 and 75-year-old self will thank you that you saw the need to exercise and that you took care of yourself. And that's the key, understanding the outcome. Whether it's good or bad, when we look at the good side and realize the energy it's going to give you a healthier life, a longer life. And as you age, it's going to help you to enjoy life at a better clip. On the flip side, the bad results of not exercising in your 50s, 60s, 70s, the aches and pains that will come, and perhaps other ailments, health situations. Don't want to look back with regret and say, wow, I wish I would have did something back when I was in my 30s or 40s and all along, and kept it consistent. So for motivation, realizing what it's going to do for you and what's going to happen if you don't do it, can help bring the motivation there. The number 3 area is it's uncomfortable. A lot of people don't want to sweat. They don't want to get out of breath. Don't want to have muscle soreness from lifting weights. And it's kind of like right now we're living in a comfort crisis. People in general want to be as comfortable as possible all the time. And being uncomfortable actually builds resilience in our bodies, and certainly helps us to be stronger, healthier in the long run. So learning to become a little uncomfortable in exercise certainly can be beneficial. The number 4 reason is that what people actually think of exercise. As I mentioned, some things that's painful, some things it's all time consuming, it's going to consume their life. So it can prevent people from actually even starting. So again, looking at it from a health perspective on what we need to feel good, to function well, not only today, but realize that this is going to affect us long term into the future. We'll have a great bearing on that. Number 5 would be cost. And again, this actually could be something true. Joining a gym sometimes can be costly. I know there's many gyms that have membership specials, But you don't have to go to a gym. You can do it all at home. Walking is free. I mentioned before, push-ups, squatting. You can do all these things at home, and walking, I'm going to feature that a lot through here, and we'll actually have more videos on that in the future. Walking, one of the best things that somebody can do. And certainly if you do it with a friend or a spouse, kids, certainly going to be something that's going to be beneficial, but it doesn't cost anything. And even some equipment, you can have some equipment at home, simple dumbbells, kettlebells, a bench. There's lots of things you can get at home that won't take up a lot of space and won't cost an arm and a leg to do, but it will help your arm and help your leg. Number 6, physical limitations. Maybe you have an injury or a physical limitation, and certainly that can be difficult to overcome, but it can be overcome. Sometimes we feel like what we're dealing with is we're alone in the world. We're the only ones dealing with this. And even when it comes to physical limitations or injuries, but I'm sure if you really researched and looked into it, there's probably hundreds, if not thousands or tens of thousands of people out there that might have similar limitations, and they find creative ways to work around it. And again, that's comes down to our determination of wanting to be healthier, wanting to feel good, and wanting to not only feel good and healthier now, but 10, 20, 30 years into the future. Number 7 is a negative self-perception or view of ourselves as far as how we look physically, perhaps how we look exercising. Maybe we don't know how to do certain exercises. We don't know how to use different machines, perhaps at the gym. But the big thing is we can educate ourselves. There's literally thousands of videos on YouTube that can show you how to use equipment, whether it's a gym machine or just barbells and dumbbells and kettlebells at home. So the educating ourselves can help us. And then the fascinating and incredible part is as you push yourself to do these things, your self-perception becomes positive and you become more confident in the way you look, the way you function. So it's definitely upside and worth putting forth the effort there. Number 8, a lack of support. Maybe your family or circle of friends, nobody really exercises much. Maybe that's just not community you came from. That's not something that really did much. Maybe there was a little bit, but might even kind of poke fun at people who are into exercising. Well, be determined that you're going to be the role model. You're going to be the example that might inspire one of your loved ones or your friends to join in. Because as we're talking about this, again, I never want to guilt anybody or pressure anybody, but all the research and everything you're going to look into, exercise is one of the most vital things that we can do for our health and for our benefit. So again, you be the example and the role model for others. Even if others aren't supporting you, eventually maybe they'll join in. Going closely along with that is number 9, social factors. Some people, because of not being comfortable in their own skin or their knowledge of exercise, are embarrassed to be in public doing it. Well, again, you don't have to go to a gym. You can do things at home. And what's interesting, what I find is early in the morning, there's not a lot of people out and about doing exercise or doing things. So if you want to do it kind of secretively, you can do the walks and the bike riding in the morning, do exercises in your yard or at a park in the morning, and you might not have to worry about that. And number 10 is people find exercise boring. And I've heard quite a few number of gentlemen at the gym say, I wish you could take a pill. That's all they want to do. They don't want to come. They don't want to come. They find it boring. They find it hard. They don't like it. But there's, again, things that you can do. Get outside in nature. There's got to be trails that you could walk and hike and bike. And it, again, being outside, that's another benefit of something that's being good for you. Or if you're doing it at home in your house, in the basement, you could have the TV on, you could have music on, or get a friend to work out with that you can be accountable to each other. So there's different things that you can do to overcome the boredom. And again, recognizing the need that we have to engage in exercise, that can be motivation enough to get over the boredom of it. As I mentioned before, it's not an all exhaustive list, and maybe you didn't like some of my suggestions or solutions, but take a couple of them and try to incorporate them. That's kind of the whole purpose of this, is to look at them and see, well, what's holding me back, and what can I do that's to overcome this. Because again, when you look back at an older age, you will be grateful and you'll thank your younger self for putting in the time, putting in the effort. And again, remember, the key is consistency, not mass volumes. You don't have to be an Ironman. You don't have to run marathons. You don't have to live at the gym. 10, 15 minutes a day, build that up maybe to a half hour a day at some point. But a lot of it can be broken in smaller segments at home, and certainly it's going to be to your benefit, and you're going to be thankful that you did. So remember, we're not going to take any more excuses. You be determined to say that. No more excuses. And here at LZ23 Strength, we exert ourselves, try to have that as your motto. We want to elevate our health,